When you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate. Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison? What's your pleasure? Oh.
Hello wrestling fans, what's the story on SmackDown? Tonight's topics are Shane McMahon speaks about The Miz,
Becky loses her crutch,
Kofi gets the shot he deserves at WrestleMania,
all that and more on tonight's Wrestle Story.
Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday night after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT. Pro Wrestling News Central threw me off with Happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev.
I got excited.
Happy Rusev Day. Man, I wish I were still doing that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Rusev's kind of went to the side here, so it's like, you know, not very important anymore.
It's okay. We stream every Wednesday after NXT.
Hey, Bendy.
As we were saying. Hi, Bendy. How are you?
Yes, every Wednesday after NXT and after every pay-per-view.
Also, we do our pre-game shows, normally the Friday or Saturday before the pay-per-view. And then also during the week sometimes, depending on what's happening in the world of wrestling, we will do extra streams talking about news and stuff.
Stuff. You know, this is all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff, yeah.
Make sure you
subscribe and click the little bell button.
The little bell button.
Happy Knock America Day. No, stop. We don't need that to come back. Rusev Day is okay. Knock America Day, and no, we don't need that.
Definitely not.
Knock America. Oh. When that happened, when he was the U.S. champion, like, so many jokes by Corey Graves that were really funny, but then he was like, please, please, please. Like, let's not do this again.
I'm kind of disappointed that Rusev Day's gone.
I know. It was such a good gimmick.
That's why when I saw Pro Wrestling News Central posted up there, I got all excited and like lost my train of thought.
Yeah. It was a good gimmick.
Definitely.
They should have kept it. So, it is Tuesday. We are talking about SmackDown. First and foremost, I will say, I think a lot happened on this show. Some things that people wanted to see happened on this show. Some things that people didn't want to see happened on this show. But ultimately, 90% of it was really good.
Yeah, I thought this was one of the better shows in a while.
One of the better SmackDowns that they've
Definitely.
had. I think it blew last week's out of the water.
Definitely.
Like, by a long shot. So, I will say that.
Well, I think the storylines kind of played out a little better. You started to get some clarity on some things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, with that being said, they opened the show with Shane. Shane came out, and he first had the announcer. He had him in the ring, and he announced him, and he got in the announcer's face and, said, do it again! More feeling! And so he did it a second time. He was like, it's still not good enough. Do it again! And then he did it, full-blown, WrestleMania and beyond. And it was, I thought he was going to punch there are so many non-title.
There are so many matches at Mania. I think they've brought out the whole WWE roster.
Yeah. We have yet to see Elias, though, be announced to have a match.
Everybody walks with Elias, and he's probably just going to come out and play his guitar.
No, I don't care. I could care less if they put him in a match. I just want him to come out after every single thing that happens and just recap it. In song, and rip on the crowd. Rip
all night
on
long.
The town. Just do it. That would make WrestleMania so good.
Definitely.
He
should be the one hosting it.
Not Alexa Bliss. That's what we said last night. He's doing the kickoff show,
Yes, but
remember?
He should be doing the whole show, not just the kickoff show.
He should be doing the whole show, though. Not just, yeah. 100%. He should do the whole show. Let's make that a thing.
I think he should be doing every show.
Elias for Mania. Elias for hosting Mania.
How about Elias just hosting Raw and SmackDown?
How about Elias just hosts WWE?
There we are.
Let's do that.
With his guitar?
Yeah.
Could you see him, playing his guitar, during the match?
And just have him on commentary?
Yeah.
It would be so good. Well, we could keep Corey Graves. I think they'd kind of bounce off each other. It'd be really funny.
I think, yeah, definitely be funny.
So, keep them on there, and then get rid of everybody else.
Elias and I'm voting for him.
Elias.
I think I'm going to vote for him twice. Because I walk with Elias.
I do too. I don't have an Elias shirt, but I walk with Finn Balor and Elias, both.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I walk with everybody.
Yeah. Especially Becky Lynch.
Yeah, especially Becky Lynch. That's a true statement. And we'll be talking about Becky Lynch a little later because she was on SmackDown tonight. Woohoo! And you'll never guess what she dropped. Why stop with WWE? Seriously.
Yeah, he should definitely president.
I love how we're supposed to be talking about SmackDown, but we kick off our show with Elias.
Well, could you see Elias as president up there giving a speech?
Yes.
All of you Americans suck.
It would be so funny.
But thank you for voting for me.
It would be so funny. That would be hilarious. I mean, we have people going for governors, being governors of places, so why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I think we just started the campaign for Elias
for
president.
Becky can limp with Elias.
There we are, see? Because there's not too much walking there.
That was a good one. Oh, okay. So, Shane comes out, and he gets in the announcer's face and yells at him and has him re-say his name 3 times. He was really aggressive. Uber aggressive.
Uber.
And, then he says that he beat up The Miz because he was sick of it. He was sick of everything. And, he said, everybody always asks me, what can you do for me, Shane, to get me ahead? To help me do this, help me do that. He said he was tired of it. He wanted to work for himself. And he wanted opportunities for himself. He didn't want to keep doing things for other people and not get anything out of the deal. Which, I can agree. But he does a lot of things for a lot of other people, but that kind of comes with the job description that he was given, being a commissioner, general manager, person who runs SmackDown.
Yeah,
Which is where it kind of gets lost to me after he said that, because it's that's what you're there to do, though.
Yeah, and
You're there to help the talent and help the other guys get ahead so they can be big stars.
snap into a Slim Jim aggressive or Betty White.
I'd say probably snap into a Slim Jim aggressive. But maybe not. Maybe mix of both.
Yeah, probably both. I don't know, that Snickers, it really does, change your
It
whole
does
identity.
change everything. And we said last night, Roman Reigns and the concussion angle or whatever they're going with right now, just have Dean Ambrose being the comedic guy he is, give him a Snickers, and then it just fixes everything. Whoa, what was I doing? I was about to suplex you, man. I was about to, spear you. And, oh, thank goodness you gave me a Snickers bar because I was going to go ham on you.
Well, I think it'd be funny if they, in the middle, if they had Roman Reigns turn in the middle of, suplexing Dean Ambrose, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a Snickers and goes, "Here."
Yeah, we had said that was funny. We talked about that last night on our Raw stream. So this whole segment I felt was very weak, personally. For Shane coming off of beating the crap out of the Miz, I felt like there was a disconnect because he has that roll limp with Elias. There's your campaign slogan. That's funny. But I felt like there was really a disconnect where Shane is supposed to be that corporate guy, And so for him to come out there and talk about how he's tired of taking care of everybody else, he's tired of this, he's tired of, doing things for other people and nothing for himself. And it just, you're like, huh? Because that's his job.
Well, just the way they did it didn't make sense. I would rather have had him just come out and rip on Miz and talk about why he, broke up with Miz,
Because he didn't do a lot of that. I mean, he did talk about
the way he, because with the way he talked, it makes it sound like he really doesn't like many of the wrestlers.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be pointed towards any wrestler,
Yeah.
It just happens to be, the Miz is his tag team partner, and so the Miz is the one that's kind of on the one that's kind of being looked at here, but it could be any wrestler since he's kind of the boss.
So then he talks about how he's the best in the world because he was born that way, and then he said when he beat up Miz, it felt so good, and everybody should get used to it, essentially. And then he goes on to announce the Miz versus Shane at Mania match. He said, "I want to beat you up again, and I'm going to do it on the grandest stage there is, WrestleMania," and he points to the sign. And so there's their match. I felt it was very underwhelming the way they announced it.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weak.
And I would have much rather preferred just have him stop there with his whole, I beat up the Miz and everybody is going to have to get used to it thing. And then just stop there. You guys called it. Good job. Thanks, Bendy. We really saw it coming from a mile away. Just Miz and Shane as a tag team for a long time? No. Wasn't going to happen. So it just has to make sense to get Shane his big match at Mania.
Well, to get him his big match, and then he'll go away for a while and come back next.
Broke my back.
Mania.
Miz broke my back.
I want a steel cage match where he jumps off, from the 25 feet up and lands on a table.
Well, I mean, yeah, he had that match. He had that match with Undertaker.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
Couple 32. WrestleMania 32. And I just watched that. And it was WrestleMania 32, and he had that match. And it was an amazing match. The cage was so big, and he, climbed it and then jumped it. And it was the nuttiest thing ever, but that's what Shane does.
But this is why, I was going to say, this is why we, and we've talked about it, that this is what he does, and this is why I couldn't see him lasting very long wrestling. I want the WrestleMania sign to fall. Falls count anywhere match ends on WrestleMania sign. Maybe Shane will jump. That'd be cool.
Do the coast to coast, though? He's got the WrestleMania sign, and he just, jumps off of it and, hits Miz in the corner. That would be awesome. Awesome! There you go, Miz. You get your plug real quick.
That was awesome.
You weren't on the show. But, it's cool. Gotta plug him somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be really cool. That'd be cool. So Miz and Shane has been announced. Like I said, kind of underwhelming the way they did it. I would have liked to see them maybe drag it out for another week or 2 weeks so we could see Miz kind of retaliate and see because Miz wasn't on the show. What they said was he was at home recuperating from the attack that when Shane attacked him.
I was totally shocked that they announced this match. Okay, I wasn't. Why are you giving me that look?
Because.
Oh, yeah, because we've only been calling it now for the last month and a half. Or month, however long we've been streaming.
Gee, Miz, is that you? Yes, it is.
Sounded just like the Miz.
You know in all those movies that he's been in that are like cartoons and stuff? Not where he's actually the Miz. But, like there's a WrestleMania Scooby-Doo and there's, because I watch that, I own that, I'm a geek. And so, I voiced him. It was me, all along. There wasn't the Miz. He was busy shooting the Marine 52 or something.
Yeah.
So he was, he wasn't able to make it. So I voiced him instead. There you go. You know the secret. It was not Miz. It was me. So I would have much liked to see this kind of go out for another week or 2 weeks till we get closer to Mania, and then we see Miz's point of view on this.
Well, they would, but
and kind of where he pulls it out. But I mean, we have 4 weeks or 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks till Mania left.
Well, you have that amount of time.
I was not aware that the Miz was on Scooby-Doo. Yes, he was. He was.
Yeah, Bendy, you're gonna have to watch the Scooby-Doo WrestleMania again.
It was lovely. It was great. It was a really good movie, by the way. Scooby-Doo, phenomenal actor.
Yeah, but you like Scooby-Doo like you like Becky Lynch, so
I do.
Like watch Scooby-Doo all the time.
I do. I own a whole bunch of Scooby-Doo DVDs. This is a whole other subject.
Yes, if we weren't watching wrestling a lot right now,
I'd be watching Scooby-Doo. Like, I have a full trophy case of Scooby-Doo DVDs. So,
So anyway, I was going to say that they can't drag this out forever because they have to get the other 647 match storylines for WrestleMania set up.
Yeah, I know, which is probably why they did it this way, and he just announced it right off the bat. And it wasn't like nobody was not expecting this to happen because everybody thought it was going to happen. So, it's not... It was just kind of underwhelming for what it was. You were expecting it to be some big thing, but it really wasn't.
I figure what'll happen is they will have the Miz either come out next week and address the situation, or maybe in a couple weeks and address the situation.
Probably, because they're focusing on.
What if they do this? What if they, what if Shane McMahon's gonna win at Mania, and the Miz, because they're getting ready to have a kid, is gonna take some time off, and they do some sort of match where like an I Quit match or something like that.
Possibly.
And then that would give the Miz his time off, and then they could set it up where he comes back right before next WrestleMania, and then him and Shane fight again, and the Miz wins the next one.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that...
I should write this down to see if my prediction comes true.
Well, the thing about that is where last time when they had their first kid, a year ago or so, he worked right up until when Monroe was born. Like, literally, they were, like, on their TV show, Ms. and Mrs., if you don't watch that,
No, I don't
go watch that on USA Network, I guess. Cool. Again, we're plugging the Miz.
You could watch that in Temptation Island.
Yeah, no. I much prefer Ms. and Mrs. Sorry, I do.
Then Shane leaves, and before next WrestleMania, they fight for a third time to finish it off.
Yeah, sure.
That's crazy.
Cool. That's a great idea. Just get Miz off TV for a year, get Shane off of TV for a year, have him come back, just repeat the same thing. Only each time the stakes get higher and higher.
Yeah, like...
This match is just, a match right now. Next year, who knows what it'll be. Maybe Shane will jump off of a 50-foot cage and, they'll say he died or something. And then he'll come back from the dead a year from then, and he will fight.
Then he'd be known as The Undertaker.
He'll fight The Miz. I mean, who knows? Who knows? They can do anything at this point. He could very well put on The Undertaker's outfit and come back because Who knows where they left that at?
I think he's a little bit small for the Undertaker's outfit.
It's okay. He could swim in it.
He could. Definitely.
Amazing ideas.
Yes.
So, yeah. That was that. Then we have Aleister Black and Ricochet and the Hardys versus The Bar and Nakamura and Rusev.
We have never seen this match.
No, absolutely not. So, this match actually ended in a no-winner because the New Day came out and they beat the living crap out of all 4 of those teams in the ring. Like, they just got rid of them. And I said after this, I said, you know what? What if, due to everything that they've been put through recently, they turn them heel? New Day as a whole, they turn them heel. And their reason for going heel is the fact that Kofi should have an opportunity, but he doesn't. Well, not yet at least. And they have been treated like garbage for the last, several months, like back from Elimination Chamber. They have been treated like absolute garbage from then till now. And then that's the reasoning behind turning heel.
The thing is I don't think you can turn them heel. Just because of the way they've been used. Mm-hmm. I think if they were to like snap and just go after everybody.
Big E and Xavier Woods about took off Vince McMahon's head later in the evening. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I think if they went after everybody right now, the crowd they'd get a big pop from the crowd as being all right. They're tired of taking the crap and they're they've decided that they're going to be the beasts and they're not taking anything else and they're going to take things into their own hands and be Ronda Rousey and, talk about who they are as people. And no, I'm kidding. That's just,
No, they would never go and be Ronda Rousey, ever.
But the thing is it's kind of a similar storyline of I'm just going to, take over and just,
do whatever I want.
Yeah, do what I want to do. I mean, isn't it?
It's the Brock Lesnar. It's the Brock Lesnar of the women's division, the Brock Lesnar of the tag team division.
I guess.
They're like, all right, Brock Lesnar's the example. Follow him.
Yeah. He's
the Universal Champion. He is your example. Be just like him. Show up to work every 6 months.
So there is no winner in the match?
No.
I don't know. Did you state that?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, just so in case you missed it, there is no winner in the match.
Because New Day came down
and now would have been a good time to have Walk with Elias come out.
No. Hello, I am Elias. See, I'm Elias too. I can do Elias and The Miz really well. Anybody else, I don't know.
You could do Lacey Evans. It's not hard to do that. Yeah, there you are. See? Good job. I knew you could do it.
Hello, I'm Lacey Evans now.
Yeah.
The sassy Southern Belle, who, by the way, we didn't even see on tonight's show.
And she's the star of WWE.
What are we talking about? Yeah, funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because you put out a tweet last night, and she retweeted it. And she said, and what did you say in your tweet? You said Lacey Evans is going to be the star of WWE.
I said Lacey Evans is going to be a big star in WWE, and she replied...
And she goes, sorry.
Let me get my phone, and I can tell you what she said.
I think it was something along the lines of, sorry, sweetie, I'm already the biggest star in WWE, or something like that, but you'll find it. But yeah, I was like, what the heck, man? What the heck? The first time in 3 weeks.
She said...
Lacey Evans isn't on TV.
Yeah. So I said Lacey Evans will be a star in the WWE, and she replied, I'm a star, period, sweetheart.
Yeah. So, cool. You got that under your belt.
Yes.
Lacey Evans has replied to your tweet.
Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
Cool, yeah.
At least somebody did.
I'm so disappointed she didn't get on SmackDown to discuss your tweet. I know, right?
I was waiting for it.
Between
her not being on and Elias not being on, it was just... I take it back. This was not a very good SmackDown.
No, just have her come out and finally get on the mic to say, I was tweeted last night. Somebody said that I was going to be a big star here in WWE. And to them, I said, I'm already. I am a big star in WWE.
They would have went. Somebody called the Wrestle Story said, "I'm going to be a big star." That would have been awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out on TV.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it was very odd that she didn't come out.
Yeah, it was,
Well, maybe they have her off TV
She's-
for 1 week, and then they're going to bring her back on Monday or Tuesday
Well,
next week, and she's going to start something.
Is this the first one, sweetheart? Is this the first one she hasn't been on in a while?
In like 3 weeks.
I was going to say, that's what I thought.
This is the first time that she has not been on a SmackDown or a SmackDown. Because tonight's SmackDown. This is the first time she has not been on TV in 3 weeks, just walking up and down the ramp.
Yeah.
She did it. She started doing it at Elimination Chamber.
I was going to say, it's been several weeks.
It's your fault, y'all.
Probably because I tweeted something about her being a superstar and it messed her up or something. I don't know.
That's funny. So then we have an Usos backstage promo. They were like in the basement of the building or something. They're like on stairs and it's like all dark. It's like Mankind promos, but like modernized.
Modernized Mankind promos.
Probably. So they're down there talking about their championships. The tag team match had just happened, and they're talking about, the New Day came down and ruined that for them. Then you have Aleister Black, who are the new guys. Aleister Black. What am I talking about? Aleister Black and Ricochet, who are the new guys. I was looking at WWE.com. They have a section for retired pay-per-views. WWE Unforgiven is the only one with the new WWE logo. Could they be bringing that back too? Also, WWE Clash of Champions is on there. Yeah!
I think it'd be cool.
That would be cool because they have not... Clash of Champions, they haven't done that in a couple years.
No.
They have replaced that with something else. And so, I
think it'd be cool bringing them back. I mean,
I think it'd be cool.
And Clash of Champions goes all the way back to, WCW days.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'd be cool.
And before, so.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool. So, the Usos are backstage. They're talking about what just happened in the ring with all the tag teams, and they're going through the list and talking about how, Great Balls of Fire! That was that was such a good pay-per-view name.
Now, see, there was a time in there where I didn't watch, a lot of wrestling, so...
It was like a one-time pay-per-view or a two-time pay-per-view, and they only did it, once or twice, and I remember one was Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe, I think. I think that's who was on the cover of it. I could be wrong.
I remember
But I was scrolling through stuff. Yeah, I hated it. I liked the name, but, the pay-per-view was, it is what it is. It's just kind of something out there,
Yeah.
Different, they're inventive pay-per-view names.
The only thing cool about it would have been if they had fire around the ring and,
They do those Inferno matches. They should have brought Kane back for that and done an Inferno match, That'd be cool.
ECW type match.
Yeah.
Like Crazy Nuts, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So Usos talking all about the tag teams, how none of them deserve a shot at their titles, and then that's about it.
Well, the one thing about it is they are pushing tag teams. The only thing I don't like about it is they seem to be pushing tag teams like they're pushing singles, where they have, four teams in a match.
But they're really not pushing tag teams on Raw all that much. It's mostly on SmackDown. Notice how SmackDown's tag teams are, loaded, but Raw is still very weak. We have the Revival, who loses every week. We have Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. I almost thought I said their names.
Chad Roode and Bobby Gable.
I almost thought I said their names wrong.
Yes.
We have them, who I don't like as a tag team, period. So they should just get rid of that. Super all that much. Yes, super all that much. My quotes. I'm good. I know. I could be a writer. And I don't even know.
You're super.
Super. Yeah, I'm super all that much. Yep. But you have the Revival, who loses every week. You have Roode and Gable, who I don't like as a tag team, and they should split up.
They don't lose every week.
Well, almost every week the Revival loses. Let's see, who else? Heavy Machinery, who, nobody knows what they're doing with them. You have the B Team, who is not very good. You have... I think that's about it. Can you think of any other Raw tag teams? Because I can't think of any that stand out in my head. That's the issue. I can name a whole bunch of them that are on SmackDown.
Well, that's been the whole issue with the tag team division in general. There really haven't been a lot of tag teams.
No. And then when they bring tag teams in, they put them all on SmackDown. That's the issue.
Yeah,
They don't distribute them evenly. Yeah, we have Ricochet and Aleister Black who go back and forth week to week. But then you have The Bar, who's on SmackDown. You have the Hardys, who are on SmackDown. You have the New Day, who's on SmackDown. You have the Usos, who are on SmackDown. Authors of Pain are another one, but you haven't seen them in forever.
Yeah, when's the last time you seen them?
So who knows what they're doing with them? And,
that's the issue, is a lot of the tag teams just haven't been seen.
No.
So, maybe, hopefully, they start pushing a little bit more of the tag teams and, not having so much. Like I said, I hate the four team matches, but I suppose if the only. Man, you have a cool water bottle there. I think it's green.
I accidentally grabbed a green water bottle before I came down. And it was the one I was using today. And it happened to be green. And so it's invisible.
Anyway.
That's a neat trick.
So with what they're doing with the tag teams in general, I suppose to get more exposure, you do more four-team events.
I guess.
Matches.
Who knows?
Like
I think floating water bottle.
No,
yeah.
It was just the lid that was floating.
Hey, Bendy, I think you know a thing or two about floating water bottles.
Yes.
So, I got my tricks from you. Anyways, I think they should split up some of the SmackDown tag teams. Like, I understand they have the Usos on there right now, who are one of the big ones. They have, the 4 big tag teams on, they have the couple big tag teams on SmackDown. I think maybe with the Superstar Shakeup, depending on what they do with Kofi Kingston, and if he wins the title at I Am the Expert.
Definitely. Definitely are, Bendy.
Yes. But I think that they should either move New Day or the Usos, one of the two, to Raw to spice that division up. Because, you know that there aren't many. Hawkins and Zack Ryder.
But Hawkins never wins.
Spelled it wrong. He would get offended by that. Say, you know what, Hawkins? You don't suck. But you know what? Last week when they put my name up on the board, they spelled it wrong. They spelled it Z-A-C-H. It's Z-A-C-K. So I suck too. We can still be a tag team. Cool. I think they'll get their moment sometime where they win. But maybe not.
Well, I hope what they do is like I've said before, just do some cross-promotion stuff. Mm-hmm. And not so much one-sided.
Yeah.
I mean, they've kind of done some of that anyway. I mean, Aleister Black and
he spelled his own name wrong.
Definitely. Aleister Black and Ricochet have been on both quite a bit. So,
So
doing
I
the
think,
cross
really
thing,
the cross-promotion thing would be better. But, you know what we should do? While I'm thinking about it, we talked about the Superstar Shakeup, which is coming up here after Mania. We should do our thoughts on who we should think should go where and who they should move up.
When he said it, he said Zach. Yeah, Z-A-C-K-H, yeah.
That's funny. But I think we should do that. To, talk about who we want to see come up, who we want to see, switch brands. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just to kind of throw our thoughts out there.
Well, you know what my thoughts are on the brands being split anyway.
You should just put them all together. But, they do have the Superstar Shakeup, which is after Mania.
Yeah, they should, say,
and
okay.
So they're going to move people.
There is no Superstar Shakeup. We're just going to wrestle wherever we want to.
Yeah.
Lacey Evans shows up wherever she wants to.
Yeah,
Ricochet
she does.
and Aleister Black are, on every time.
Yep. They're on every week. They're on every day this week, man. We see them on Monday, we see them on Tuesday, and we're going to see them tomorrow in the Dusty Classic.
Yes.
Bring back WWE Draft. Yes. Agreed. I think that would be fun.
I think it would be fun, but again, I like the cross-promotion stuff.
I like the cross-promotion idea too, but I feel like they're not going to do that.
Well, it's a way, I've said this, talking about this the other day,
I saw that!
Well, I wonder what they'll do with him.
WWE reportedly signs deal with Eminem to appear on SmackDown Live. I did see that. I was scrolling through Twitter while I was watching SmackDown Live, and I was like,
He'll be in the Hall of Fame next year.
Well, maybe he'll be in the Hall of Fame this year because, they don't have a celebrity yet. They'll be like, all right, we got a deal coming up with Eminem. We told him, all right, you sign, we'll put you in the Hall of Fame, we'll do this, we'll do that. So we got to put him in this year.
You show up on SmackDown before the Hall of Fame show, and then we will put you on the Hall of Fame.
Yep. We'll just announce that, morning of Hall of Fame.
There.
Yep. There we go. I don't know who they'd put in for the celebrity. People are hoping Cyndi Lauper.
She deserves to be in.
Because of everything that she's done. And I agree. I agree that she deserves, with the rock and wrestling stuff, 100% deserves to go in.
What she did with the whole rock and wrestling thing made it so there was the cross brands, I suppose, or I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? The cross. I don't want to say genres, but kind of like cross promotional stuff. And so what she did with that during that time is really get wrestling on the board. But Hulk Hogan I think was probably the biggest, but then I think Cyndi Lauper was huge in getting it across to more mainstream people.
Agreed. And so I definitely think that she deserves to go in.
And I don't understand why she's not in.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So they should put her in. So, anyways, back to SmackDown Live. We were talking about this, that, the other things. It's fine. That's what we do. So we have Randy Orton who comes out, and he cuts a promo on AJ Styles. So he talks about how AJ didn't build this house. Randy did it. Because when AJ was, back in 2002, AJ was on indie wrestling shows, and Randy Orton was here becoming the youngest heavyweight champion there ever has been. And so then AJ comes out, and he's like, okay, you crapping on the indie guys, but guess what? Everybody back there all the people that you're around have come from the indie circuit. So what are you even talking about? And then he talks about how Randy Orton ripped off the diamond cutter in one of his finishing moves. And then Randy Orton, he puts up the too sweet. And he's like, and you didn't rip anybody off?
It would have been a lot funnier if he would have come out and said, dude, this isn't a house, this is an arena. What are you talking about?
Well, no. Well, with AJ Styles, that's his whole thing, is this is the house that AJ Styles built. So, it would have been funny. It would have been funny. But then it kind of would have been going against himself. So then he talks to Randy Orton and says, well, I'm the landlord of this house, and it's time for you to pay the rent. And then AJ says, fine, all right, I'll pay that rent. And then he points to the WrestleMania sign. Yeah. They're going to have a match at WrestleMania. Well, hasn't been announced yet, but they're going to. I called this when they first... I called this when they first started doing stuff backstage. I said, this is going to turn into a WrestleMania match. Yep. So they can get AJ Styles and Randy Orton on the card because neither of them are in big championship feuds right now.
Again, this is pretty obvious where they were headed with this. So you knew that this match was coming.
Yeah. Yes. So, now that is 2 people who have pointed to the WrestleMania sign tonight. I was, keeping tab. We have Shane, and then we have AJ. There was, a lot of pointing at the sign tonight. The WrestleMania sign.
I just want him to see someone, point to the crowd.
I'm going to
that exit right up there!
That is so funny. So then we had another Harlem Heat Hall of Fame.
That's where they could have brought out Dean Ambrose, and he could have just pointed up at the crowd and pointed at an exit and just started walking out.
Yeah, 100%. He could have. He could have just done that.
Yeah.
That would have been funny, because that's what Dean Ambrose does. So then we have the Harlem Heat Hall of Fame stuff. Once again, they talked about this last night. I said this last night. They should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
Definitely.
They are one of the,
Greatest tag teams ever.
Yes, greatest tag teams ever, and they kind of helped build up the tag team division in WWE. Or not WWE, WCW, sorry.
I don't understand.
And I mean, I feel like they built up the tag team division in general.
And that's why I don't understand why, they haven't been, why it's taken this long to get them into the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. Like, they should have been in such a long time ago, like, before some of these other guys that they've had put in, they should have been in, And Booker T already was put in singly. Now he's going in again with Stevie Ray and Harlem Heat. And I think they should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah. What's anybody else's thoughts on that?
I actually would like to know what everybody else kind of thinks. Who else should go into the Hall of Fame? Or, who you might have heard could potentially be going into the Hall of Fame. I've heard Taz going in. I'm just waiting to see who their big headliner is for this year. Because DX is not it. They normally announce their big headliner at last.
Which is kind of weird because DX is huge, Harlem Heat's huge, so,
Honky Tonk Man was
getting bigger than
pretty
that.
Big for what he is. He was one of the longest reigning Intercontinental Champions ever.
Yeah.
So, he was pretty big too. So, I'm just kind of curious to see what everybody else thinks on who should go into the Hall of Fame and who you have heard. I've also heard the Hart Foundation going in.
And see if that might be the big one then.
Possibly. It'll be the first time that Jim Neidhart will have ever gone into the Hall of Fame, which is a big deal. And then Bret Hart has already been in once, and Jimmy Hart has already been in once. So, possible that they're the big one. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see who else they announce. I'm assuming we'll probably see somebody else be announced next week or over the weekend. And I'm just curious to see who it is. So, next we have Auska, who is on TV, by the way, versus Sonya Deville with Mandy at ringside. I'm still going with my theory that Mandy and Sonya are splitting up after tonight. Watching it again happen. Only this time, Mandy got involved in the match. Well, she didn't get involved in the match, but she got, knocked over outside the ring. And then when she was trying to stand up, she grabbed the apron, and Sonya Deville was standing there, and she pulled it, and it made her slip. And then Auska was able to get the upper hand and knock her upside the head, and then pin her for the win.
What if they're trying to make it look like they're splitting up, and then they go win the titles?
The tag titles?
Yeah.
Potentially? I thought Sonya Deville was going to hit Mandy upside the head after the match.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is they're trying to make it look like they're going to split up, and then they go win the tag titles.
Possibility. I wouldn't really like to see them as tag. I want to see Sonya go out on her own.
I think it would be more interesting, because I don't know, that they're a really good tag team.
I want to see Sonya go out on her own. Personally, I don't think she needs Mandy. I think that they should just split them up and let Sonya go for maybe a singles title or something, because I feel like she is better than Mandy, personally, in the ring. And she has that fighting background where she did mixed martial arts and stuff.
Well, and then initially, it looked like they were going to give Mandy Rose a little bit of a push.
Mm-hmm. But maybe they're going to give Sonya the push. They're going to have them split up, and then she's going to be a contender for a title.
I think that right now she's the better of the two.
Agreed.
So, it would make more sense to give her the push. If they're gonna give one of the two a push, she'd be the one that I would pick to give the push to.
Agreed. 100%. I agree with that. So Auska gets the win over Sonya Deville. Like I said, Mandy kind of got involved, grabbed the apron, Sonya slipped, then Auska was able to kick
similar to what happened the other day.
Deville upside the head, and then she got the win. Then we have an IIconics promo video, and they were calling out Sasha and Bayley, and they talked about how, for weeks they've been waiting for them to come to SmackDown Live to defend those tag team championships because they are ready. And week after week they have not shown up, and so they're calling them out, and they want them to come to SmackDown.
You really haven't seen a lot of Sasha and Bayley.
Not even on Raw.
No.
They weren't even on Raw this week, were they?
They were in the back.
Yeah, they were.
When
yeah,
they
were.
attacked Nia
They did
Tamina.
attack Nia and Tamina. But
I
other
mean,
than that,
overall,
they weren't out.
They
weren't out cutting promos and stuff. I know they were down at NXT at some live events last weekend, I believe, and so they have been down there.
Yeah, so I wonder, and they said they would go anywhere to defend their titles.
So I'm just kind of curious to see where this goes, because maybe the IIconics, if they're gonna do the four teams at Mania, if it's IIconics and then somebody else from Raw, and then Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, and then Sasha and Bayley.
I could handle the IIconics if they didn't do the screaming stuff.
I could too. I've said this a lot. If they weren't so shrieky and I would be fine with them. IIconic. And then they do their thing. It's a good gimmick, but they're annoying. Uber annoying. Very, very annoying.
Definitely.
I could live without all the screeching.
Well, screeching is what turns me off. When I see them, I'm like, oh no, not again.
You're like, I gotta plug my ears, but even with my ears plugged, I will still be able to hear them.
They do good in a horror film or something, because you just get them out, ah!
You just need their
hey,
voice
if I hurt
clipped.
your ears, I'm sorry.
See, at least you apologize for it. That's funny. So they called out Sasha and Bayley, so we'll see what that leads to in the coming weeks. I think they'll probably be at Mania on the card in the tag team match.
Yes.
Just because they have been kind of pushing that they want a title shot, and like I said, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, and then maybe they... I don't think they're going to do Nia and Tamina, because to me it wouldn't make any sense. They're doing something with Beth Phoenix and Natalya right now. So have them do something, and then who do you put in the Raw spot?
I don't know. I don't like the way they're doing that. I don't know who you put in, just because... I'm
trying to think of the women's tag team division. You could bring back a legend. We brought back Beth Phoenix. So, nothing is unquestionable.
No. Just have a tag team match. That's the one thing I do not like, is just have a tag team match. If it's for the title, just have the tag team match.
Yeah.
And not this put 27 people in
I think what I would like to see, if they were to do it, then do it by elimination. So you have all 4 people in the ring. You start with 2, and then if one team is eliminated, or one team is pinned, then they're eliminated, and then you're down to 3. Then they're eliminated or pinned, then you're down to 2. Then you get your champion out of that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't, something like that I wouldn't mind. But I don't like the fact that you could just pin whoever and you're the champion.
Yeah, exactly. So then we have Becky Lynch. She comes out, and her music hits, and she walks out, and she's got the crutch. And then, you know what she does with that crutch? She looks at it, and then she picks it up, she throws it to the side. It was, great. And then she just walked down the ramp. She did still have a limp, slight limp. It wasn't, terrible.
By next week, it'll be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Or should be.
Let's hope.
Yeah, because they've drawn this out way too long with her being on crutches. And
then it'll show back up at WrestleMania. She'll get kicked in the knee or something by Ronda Rousey, and it'll show up again. She'll limp around the ring, but then she'll win.
Yeah.
But as long as we don't see it leading up to WrestleMania, I'll be fine with that. So she got rid of the crutch. Woohoo! Big deal. We've been waiting for that for forever. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, her beating stick is now gone.
Darn. Just put that underneath the ring, though. Just have somebody go grab it from wherever she threw it and just put it underneath the ring, so then in the middle of their match, she can just pull it out and smack somebody upside the head.
That and Hornswoggle.
Yep.
Not that they're going to pick Hornswoggle up and hit him, because I don't think they could lift him and use him as a weapon.
But definitely the crutch. I'd like to see that underneath the ring.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that'll work with the triple threat thing. If it will be no countouts, or if it's literally just a triple threat match. I think right now it's just a triple threat match, so she probably could get disqualified for doing that. But, what will she hit Charlotte?
A 2x4.
No, we're not doing Jim Duggan. Becky Lynch is not coming out with a piece of wood.
Could you see her come out and go, woo!
No. I can't, okay?
I'm the man!
I can't. this, I thought, was a really good promo. Like, just back and forth between Charlotte and Becky, like, they do such a good job. Such a good job. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but it was like, such a good job, I thought.
But she cuts pretty good promos.
She does.
And I've said before that Charlotte's the best.
We talked about this on Sunday, I believe.
But
we got asked about promos, and we said we asked who our favorite promos, and I said Charlotte first. Charlotte cuts the best promos probably out of everybody in that entire business. And then shortly thereafter that is Becky. If we're talking about the women's division, Becky is thereafter.
Well, Charlotte's kind of got an advantage when you grew up as, Ric Flair's daughter. And
she starts getting promo. She starts getting promo classes at age, 9 months.
Yeah. So, it's nothing.
Let's learn how to say woo.
Nothing new.
Yeah. So then they play a recap video of Becky versus Charlotte at Fastlane. And then Becky talks about everything that she has gone through up to this point where she got back in the Mania match. So she talked about being arrested. She talked about getting suspended and then unsuspended. And then she had her match taken away from her. And then she had to fight for her match, which is actually already hers because she won the Royal Rumble. So she had to fight for her match twice. And I was like, yep. People were questioning that big time when this match was made. On Twitter, I saw a lot of people that were like, huh? She won the Royal Rumble. So doesn't this kind of defeat the purpose of the Royal Rumble? Yeah, it does.
Well, they've taken a lot of steam out of this match. The whole, over the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they have. But people were like, seriously? Like, that literally defeats the purpose of the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble, she won that match, which meant she went to go on to WrestleMania. But then she had that taken away, given to Charlotte, and then she had to fight for that spot again?
But that's after losing to Auska on the Royal Rumble, so,
Well, yeah, point there.
So the fact
she wasn't technically actually supposed to be in the match to begin with. But Lana got hurt, and so then she was added in by Fit Finlay. Fellow Irishman. So,
So then you have Daniel.
Helping each other out.
Yes. Daniel Bryan interview.
What are we even talking about? We weren't done with this.
Huh?
We weren't done with this, Dad.
What else do we need to talk about?
Charlotte came out.
Okay, but, we talked about promos and things like that.
Fantastic promo.
Okay.
We're sitting here, and I'm talking, and you're like, now we have Daniel Bryan. I'm like, what?
We've talked about Charlotte and Becky, for, days now. Months.
Well, we're still talking about it.
Years.
So, like I said, this is a really good promo.
Like years to me.
Okay, whatever. And so...
Especially when the match is supposed to be your main event, and, it's probably not going to be the main event now because they've taken, like I said, they've taken so much, steam
It'll still
off
be
of
the main
this
event because they're going to do the first ever women's main event. It'll still be the main event.
I am tired of Becky and Charlotte.
Well, I'm not. So we're going to continue.
They've drawn this storyline out way too long.
So she talked about how hard it was being in somebody's head when there is no brain inside that head. And she said, well, I did it. I'm in Ronnie's weird little head. And I have succeeded. And, she didn't know what she wanted. Because she came out and she punched me in the stomach and put me in the WrestleMania match. Because, well, at first she didn't want me in there, but now she did. And then she didn't. And then she came out and punched me. So, cool.
Elias needs to interrupt one of these promos. I'm in everybody's head.
That would be funny.
And you guys suck.
So then Charlotte comes out, and she talks about what she did while Becky was gone, and actually what she's been doing for the last 4 years, and how she held up the division. And then she says the WWE Universe only likes you because they feel sorry for you. And then she says that she is tired of Ronda yet too, Mr. Gleen. Yes, I'm tired of Ronda. She can leave the company now. Just leave the championship.
I'm tired of all three of them. They've drawn this storyline out way too long.
Well, they might have, but it's still entertaining.
Well, and part of the problem is the way they've done it, I think.
Probably.
They took heat off of... Becky had a big pop,
And then they screwed
and
her
then
over.
they totally took that off. They took
her over. They took her off TV.
All that. And then you have Ronda Rousey, who has all of a sudden decided that now she's just going to kick the crap out of everybody, and the WWE's fake, and all of it's fake, and none of it's real, and so yet all she did was come out and punch Becky Lynch in the stomach at the match the other night and
put her in the match
instead of like punching her in the face or something like that and like breaking it
because she'd get sued.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then Charlotte says,
but it's all fake, and she's not doing the fake thing anymore.
Exactly. Make any sense to you?
No.
Not really. So then Charlotte says that she is Miss WrestleMania, taking a page out of Shawn Michaels. He was Mr. WrestleMania. Now, apparently she's Miss WrestleMania. Cool, I guess. Then Becky tells her to shut your face. And I quote, she says, "Shut your face, you dope. You plastic face dope. You had the division for 4 years and you never main evented Mania. But the man comes around and look where we are now. The main event." Which is a true statement. If Charlotte has been holding this division for 4 years. 4 years she's been holding this division. And then Becky comes around and they're putting the main event.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. If they better get some heat on this match in the next 3 weeks. Because if they're going to main event this, and I felt that it should have been main evented initially. But with the way they've done it recently, they've taken so much heat off of this, and the storyline, the direction they've taken with this, I think it's taken a lot of heat off the match, and I don't think that it should be the main event as of right now.
I think they should play this up with what Becky just said, where she talks about how, yeah, Charlotte, you had a hold of the division and ran it for the last 4 years, but yet there was never a women's main event at WrestleMania. Ever. And then look at it now.
Those of you out there, what do you think of, like, do you think that this should still be the main event at Mania as of right now?
Regardless of however they play out this storyline, it's still going to be the main event of WrestleMania. They've hyped it up way too much for it not to be the main event of WrestleMania. With the whole, it's the first ever women's main event of Mania ever. It's going to be the main event. And I don't see them changing that. It's still going to go on last.
I thought that they would have the women's tag team championship for the titles. I thought that would have been your last match at Elimination Chamber.
But they didn't do that.
No.
But so, I 100% think that they're still going to keep the women's match the main event, just due to the fact that it will be the first ever WrestleMania main event. And if they want to do it with all 3 of these women while they're in WWE, because, who knows what's going to happen with Ronda Rousey after Mania. There's talk she's leaving. So if they want to do it with those 3 people, they have to do it now. And I don't see them going back on that.
Well, again, the issue I have with it is they've taken so much heat off of this, and there's so many other. Right now, I would say that there's 2 or 3 things going on, 2 or 3 storylines that are going on that are better than this storyline as of right now. I think that the Kofi, the whole Kofi thing, is bigger. Mm-hmm. I think that AJ and Randy Orton are bigger as of right now. And then I think that I lost my train of thought here. Help me out.
I don't know what your thought is.
Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought now.
I have no idea.
Thank you. I was thinking about Walking with Elias.
And Elias is bigger than the Becky and Charlotte storyline.
Maybe that's the problem. I was thinking about, Elias coming out and...
that's funny.
But,
I kind of have to disagree with the Randy Orton and AJ Styles thing being bigger than this. I mean, they're just starting to build that on actually in the ring standpoint. They've just done a lot of promo videos back and forth backstage, and I didn't find them to be that interesting. So, personally, I would say Kofi Kingston is about the only big thing on top of that, personally, in my opinion. The Seth Rollins thing, no, not bigger than either of those things. Miz and Shane, getting there, but still not bigger than either of those things. I mean...
Well, the Seth...
You have to have Brock Lesnar on TV to actually build that up. I'm sorry.
It's
you
tough.
do.
It's
you
tough.
can't run a show where Brock Lesnar is going to be in the main event, men's title, whatever. You can't do that if he's not on TV. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way.
Well, and that's why, he shouldn't be main event because he's never there.
The last 3 matches to go on will be the Brock Lesnar Seth Rollins thing. That'll be the first of the 3 big matches at the end of WrestleMania. Then you will have the Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston, and then you will have the women's thing. That's the way it's gonna go.
Well, they better add more heat to this match.
Unless they do Brock Lesnar and Seth earlier in the show. So then Brock Lesnar can get on his plane and get out of there.
Possible. But I mean...
Because I quite honestly, I don't think that match... It's hard telling. Because if they're going to do Brock Lesnar re-winning, or retaining the championship, then it'll be a short match. If they're going to have Seth Rollins win, it'll be a little drawn out, but it's not going to be longer than the Daniel Bryan-Kofi Kingston match.
No, I don't think so either.
They're not doing anything with it, so that does not help them.
No.
So next we have a Daniel Bryan interview regarding Kofi Kingston. Essentially, he had gone into Vince McMahon's office, and he talked to him in private, and then he comes out, and the interviewer is standing there, and she's like, Daniel Bryan, why were you in Vince McMahon's office? And he's like, personal matters. And then he says, it was regarding Kofi Kingston, and that's all you need to know. And then he walks away. Actually, he did announce that he will have a match with Rowan versus Mustafa Ali and Kevin Owens later in the evening, because that's what Vince did. He made that match. It was a promo, hyping up the match. That's all it was. Then we have Rey Mysterio and R-Truth versus Samoa Joe and Andrade. When they first came out, I was like, oh, great.
We've
It's
never seen that
another
match.
fatal four-way match for the U.S. title, but then it wasn't. It was a tag team match, and I was like, oh, great.
It's the same 4 guys over and over
R-Truth
again,
is not going to re-win the U.S. title. I'm sorry to spoil everyone's fun.
which is sad.
I was hoping, really, really hoping, deep down in my heart, that he would re-win it, but I don't see it.
I hope he
now.
wins at the SmackDown before WrestleMania.
And now, looking at it, it doesn't make much sense for John Cena to face R-Truth or Samoa Joe, because Kurt Angle's having his last match at WrestleMania, so it would almost make sense to have him do Kurt Angle and John Cena, since they've had a long rival story in WWE.
Rival story?
Rivaled story? I don't know. Previously in WWE.
Long rivalry.
Rivalry?
Yeah.
Whatever. They had a long rivalry in WWE back 2002 or whatever, when John Cena first came in. And so it would make more sense to have his last match against him than anybody else.
Yeah, I think it would, but if you're going to try and create some sort of a storyline to get a big pop, then I think you need to do something different than that.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but
And I don't know
on his last match out, I think it would just make a lot more sense than Baron Corbin or something.
But
so dumb.
Well, we've already sailed that ship. I don't think it's going to be Baron Corbin.
It could be. People are throwing around Baron Corbin as somebody who would probably be in that match, and I'm like, no, please, no. I've seen enough Baron Corbin to last me a lifetime. I don't need to see him ever again. I've made that very clear. He might be good in the ring, and he might have good promos, but I'm just over it. I'm over it. I'm not a Baron Corbin guy, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not. To all the Baron Corbin people out there, I'm just not.
Nope.
I mean, his character's cool, but I just don't like him.
Nope.
You see too much of him.
You don't.
It's like Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar's worse.
Yes, definitely.
So, I don't know.
A lot of people don't like Brock Lesnar, I don't think.
Makes no sense.
It's not that they don't like Brock Lesnar, it's what they do with him.
No, I just don't like Brock Lesnar.
Okay, you just don't like Brock Lesnar. There you are.
I don't like what they do with him, but I also just don't like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So,
I can see it.
I don't know.
Okay.
So, anyways, I don't think that's Corbin's fault. Yeah, it's the way they use him is what I don't like. They overuse him. That's the problem. WWE is like, oh, let's put Baron Corbin out there again. Cool. Woohoo. I'm like, dude, you see the same 3 matches every week.
Yes, but look, who are you talking about right now?
Baron Corbin.
They are. See? They did what they wanted to do. They got you to think about Baron Corbin.
They wanted people to hate Baron Corbin because you see way too much of him.
He could be Elias's vice president.
No, he couldn't. I would not like to see that at all. Ever. No. Just stop right there. So we have Rey Mysterio and R-Truth. They get the win. Rey Mysterio pins the U.S. champion. So that could potentially mean a U.S. championship opportunity in the future, because that's normally the way it works. Yes! Okay. No, then we gotta put Elias in a vest, though.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
If they're gonna do it, they have to put Elias in a vest, and they have to have Baron Corbin in a vest.
They need to teach Baron Corbin how to play the guitar or some other instrument, so they're like,
It'll be tambourine.
There. He can stand back in the background while Elias is strumming his guitar.
Elias, woohoo, Elias. Just imagine back there, Elias. That'd be funny.
Then I would hate Elias if he did that.
No,
so
just
I
have
hope
a
it
mic
never
come
happens.
to him.
Never happens.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be funny. Mysterio gets a pin over the U.S. champion, so that could potentially mean a future U.S. championship opportunity for him, because normally that's the way that works. You got me.
And then
Corbin on electric guitar, just shred.
There. See, that'd be cool. I think that'd be awesome having him do that.
That'd be funny.
Gets up and gives their speech, for the running for president. And
Just have Elias,
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Rey Mysterio and R-Truth get the win. Then after the match, Joe attacks R-Truth, and then he attacks Andrade.
Samoa Joe would have attacked his mom or his grandma if they were in the ring at that time.
Yeah, he was angry.
Yeah.
He's just an angry person, it seems like.
He got really angry.
He should probably go to some anger management classes, because if he goes out into the real world, I'm sorry, that's not okay.
No. Because he
went
mad. Ballistic on everybody.
Yeah. If the announcer guy had been in the ring, he probably would have, slammed him, too.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. If his mom was or grandma was in the ring, he would have, went nuts on them.
He was angry. The storyline is that Corbin is lip-syncing in a sense, but with a guitar.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's funny. So that was that match. Then we have another video for Alexa Bliss being the host of WrestleMania. Totally wrong. Should have been Elias.
Yes.
Should have been Elias.
I mean, I like her. She does a pretty good job, I think. I think
what this was, sorry, we're not going to put you in the Women's Battle Royal, and we don't have any plans for you going forward. I did see this on Twitter today. Somebody said, well, what if, because she's the host of WrestleMania, she comes out during the SmackDown Women's Championship match, and she says, I'm adding myself in, and then she, whoops Auska, whoops whoever her opponent is, and then wins the title.
I hope not.
I was like, that's a thought. It's totally something she would do. So.
Well, yeah, then we're back to, just anybody just throws themselves in them. Then Kofi should have just threw himself in all the title matches he possibly could.
I guess, yeah.
I'm coming out, and I'm going to be in this match.
I guess. I don't get what there's been talk that she has another injury or something. So, maybe that's her deal and why she's not wrestling right now. But, it's not good for her.
No, but I think she does a really good job I think she'll be a good host.
I think with what she's given, I think it's pretty good. So, it's hard telling, I guess.
Yeah.
For right now. I'm not saying she'll be a bad host, but I'm just saying it should have been Elias. And that's when Elias shows his campaign for president. For going for president.
Yes. We should be writing storylines right now.
He says, you know what?
Send them to the WWE.
I am the host of WrestleMania, but people say you can't get any bigger than that. Well, I am.
In fact, I'm going to tweet right now. Elias for president.
am going for president in the year 2020. Vote for me now. Good day, sir.
Yeah.
New. And it just ends with his guitar. Like, that'd be so good. Like, seriously. Why is this not a thing? Why is he not good? We should just persuade Elias. We should be his business managers or something. And just be like, you know what's best for business? You.
There we are.
I am the host of the country.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. and then, you know what? After that, he talks about all the music awards and stuff. He just takes those over too, becomes the host of those. He says, I'm the host of the country. I'm the host of every award show there is out there. I am the host of WrestleMania. Better yet, I'm the host of the world. Forget the country. Let's go bigger than that. I am the host of the world.
Because all of you people...
What does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias.
Yes.
And then he does his guitar thing. That's his campaign right there. Right there. There you go. I'll retype that up, send that to him, and be like, yo, run for president.
Not sure with the WWE, how that's going to work out with the USA, but...
I don't either. What does the world stand for? Walk with Elias. He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. He'll figure it out. World, WWE, they're about the same thing.
So then, we have...
Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali.
Yes.
Versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan, which was announced earlier in the evening. This was essentially, not last night, the night before that match, Fastlane. It was essentially the Fastlane match. We just had Rowan added. And it was tag team.
Here's what I don't like about this. You brought Kevin Owens back, and I thought maybe they were going to give him a push.
Not really.
And now he's lost a couple times here. And really, he's taken Kofi's spot. Mm-hmm. Which upset a lot of people. So he's just kind of there.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets the big push that, that they were looking for when they brought him back.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they realized how big the Kofi thing would have blown up.
Well, I don't think so either.
Which is why they're like, all right, we got to figure out what to do with this. Draw this out for another couple of weeks while we will announce Kofi's, going for the WWE title. And then we got to draw this out,
How could they have not seen the whole Kofi... The way the crowd reacted to him, I don't see how they could not have seen it coming as to how big this Kofi thing was.
I don't know, but if Mustafa Ali had not gotten injured, this would have never happened. Never.
No, it wouldn't have.
Which is crazy. And do you see how much this is blown up? Come on, man. He's like a superstar. I mean, he was a superstar before. He was just kind of an under-the-radar superstar. Now he's come to the surface, and everybody's like, give him a title shot, man. What are we doing?
Well, and I feel that the way that he has played it and the way the New Day has played it with, hey, he's been here for 11 years. He's done everything you've asked him to do. And tonight he talked about not being there for his first time his kid lost his tooth and missing going to birthdays and Halloween, taking his kids trick-or-treating on Halloween. Mm-hmm. I think that, that's kind of showing that he's a real person.
Agreed.
And it kind of helps, people relate to him. And they're kind of now not only are they cheering for him because they want to see him win, but I think they're cheering, a lot of people are going to cheer for him because, man, this dude's been through a lot. And you've treated him like dirt.
Don't give him anything.
And so let's really cheer for him now.
Yeah. So we're just going to kind of graze over this because this was not much to look at. We had Daniel Bryan and Rowan who get the win. Then we have Kofi and Vince McMahon. They do their thing. Vince comes out at the end of Bryan's match. And they go up, or he goes into the ring, and then he talks about... I'm going to give Kofi his opportunity for Mania for the title. And then they show a recap of Sunday when he got the crap beat out of him by the bar. And then...
before this happened, before Vince McMahon came out and started talking, what did I tweet?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Let me find it. Keep talking about what's happening there.
I'm sorry. Oh, was it about the gauntlet match?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know you said there was going to be a gauntlet match.
I said, watch what's going to happen.
You texted me, you said, well, because you were down here getting stuff set up for our stream and watching the rest of it while I was upstairs, writing our notes and stuff and eating dinner. And you were like,
Maybe I didn't tweet it. Maybe I just texted you.
Maybe you just texted me. I don't know. And you were like, they're going to put Kofi in a gauntlet match. They're going to put Kofi in a gauntlet match, and it is going to be for, deciding if he's going to go to Mania or not. And what did they do?
That's what I tweeted. I sent you the text. I said, what if, I said, they're going to put him in a gauntlet match. And that's what's going to happen here.
Literally, they did that. So then he said that Kofi was
basically he said he's not main event material.
Well, he said he was main event material, but he said that he never said on Sunday after they showed the recap. He said that he never said that Kofi would be in the WWE Championship match, which he didn't. He's like, they call Ric Flair the dirtiest player in the game. No, it's Vince McMahon.
Well, he talked about the fans not listening to what he said, and Kofi not listening to what he said, New Day not listening to what he said, because after we found out that he wasn't going to be in it.
What if Kofi loses the gauntlet match and Sheamus
wins?
If
they do that, then they better look out, because I think you're going to have a lot of upset people.
Would the match end in 0.2 seconds with Daniel Bryan getting a brogue kick to the face? That's what I want to know. Maybe it changed. Daniel Bryan hits Sheamus with the running knee to the face, and that ends the match in 0.5 seconds,
They can't do it.
It'd be funny.
You have to have Kofi win at WrestleMania.
You have to. I mean, everybody's going to be real disappointed if they don't, I mean, it's a thought. Having any one of those guys could win. And I would assume they would go on to Mania. That would make the most sense. But, Vince would probably play it and be like, oh, we're going to give Kevin Owens a rematch. That's what he does. So,
here's what I think will happen. Okay? I think Kofi wins the gauntlet match next week. And maybe next week after he wins the gauntlet match,
Instead of Daniel kissing Angelina, he kisses Rowan. No, it'd be even funnier if he kisses him on his bald head.
Yeah.
He's like, kiss him for luck. And then he gets a brogue kick to the face. That would be funny.
Yes, definitely.
That would be hilarious. Like, what? Seriously, why are we not writers for WWE? Like, come on.
We'd have better storylines than some of the stuff I have sometimes. But I can see happening next week. Kofi wins, and then Vince comes out and goes,
takes it away again.
Kofi, you were really impressive tonight. Next week, you have to do this.
And then it'll be right up until WrestleMania, and then they're like, well, we got to get Daniel Bryan on the card somewhere, so here's your match, Kofi. Don't expect you to win, but here you go.
Because did he actually say that you get a title match?
He said that. I think he said he'll go to WrestleMania.
Okay, so you go to WrestleMania. So
anybody can clarify that? Can somebody clarify that real quick? I did not write that down, whether or not he said that he would go. Yeah, well, actually I did. It said, later in my notes, it says Vince says that you have to beat Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, The Bar, and Rowan in the gauntlet match for his spot at Mania. Okay. Nothing was said about
a title shot.
Vince is going to play this off again, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Pro Wrestling News, for going and checking real quick. Just to, double check my stuff, because I may or may not be right.
Because if he didn't say anything about, getting a title shot, then Vince is going to do something here between, after next week. He's going to change things up again.
Which would be so dumb.
Or he's going to come out and go, now you're going to be on the... You have now made it to Mania, but you're going to be on the pre-show.
In a match with such and so.
And if you win that match, we will put you on the main show.
And say nothing about the WWE Championship. And then I'll have 30 matches. called drawing the show out.
I have figured out why they're going to have so many matches at
Because
Mania.
Kofi is going to be in 50 of them.
Yes.
He's going to be on the pre-show. Then he'll have a match on the main show. But then he'll have another match on the main show. Then he'll have another match on the main show. And then they'll finally say, hey, you can have your shot at the WWE Championship if you get through Rowan first. And then they'll have that match happen. And he'll be like, well, John, beat him up. And then he'll get to the Daniel Bryan. And everybody, Kofi will be like, can't breathe. And then, he'll win.
Yeah.
So he'll be in like 25 matches. And then he'll have Rowan. And then he'll get Bryan.
I don't know, but they need to, if they do anything other than at Mania other than having Kofi win, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be really upset.
The only good thing about that will be when Becky wins the Raw Women's Championship. That'll be the only good thing. Otherwise, it'll be pretty pointless. It'll be a pretty pointless show.
Well, that's because you just think Becky's all that, and so
a bag of chips.
If she doesn't win, then your whole night's disappointing.
Yeah, my whole night will be ruined.
You'll probably cry, and we'll have to get a tape.
I did. So. I cried when she was suspended. So, come on. I didn't actually cry. My eyes just kind of were like...
I never laughed so hard watching you cry over...
Yeah, you thought it was funny. I was sitting on the toy box, and then I, rolled off. Vince came out, and he was like, Becky, you're not the man. And then I rolled off the toy box and was like, no, they're gonna do this now. And then he said, we're bringing out Charlotte Flair. And I was like...
The funny thing was, your brother and sisters and I were looking at you like, what are you doing?
I was on the floor, crying. And then I was so mad. And I wrote a literal list, which I don't think I still have. And it said, it was the list. I took a thing out of Jericho's book. And it was my list. And it had Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon written on it. People I hate. Yep. Right there. You just made the list. See, I'm Chris Jericho, too. I believe someone should have filmed that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I don't think I had my phone sitting there at the time. So it was
I should have filmed you on Sunday at Fastlane when they were like, Kofi, we have Vince wants to talk to you about the WWE Championship. You got up and you were like, seriously? Are you kidding me? Are they going to do this now and add him to the match? And you got up. You got mad. And then walked into the kitchen, grabbed your coffee, walked back in, sat down on the couch and drank your coffee. It was really funny.
I did.
Beat this man, and you're going to the Promised Land. Beat them in the Gauntlet match, and you're going to WrestleMania.
So he never
said about the championship match. So they're going to pull a stupid freaking Vince McMahon again come Tuesday, and he's going to win the match, and then Vince is going to come out, oh, you won the match. Next week, you're facing such and so.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to go through several things here before Mania, and he might even have to go through some stuff at Mania before he was able to get his title shot.
This is dumb. They're going to do it all the way up until Mania.
But what they need... Well, see, if you look at what they've done, they put him against the bar, and they had him get totally destroyed. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to put him in this gauntlet match. He's going to win it. I mean, he has to win it. And then they're going to put him up against some other odds looking surmountable. And then I think they'll probably do it one more time. And then I think he's going to go to Mania, and they have to give him the title.
Kofi has to win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal to get a title shot.
And that might be what they do.
I think that's the first time I've ever said that right. It's because it was typed out. Okay, otherwise, it's the Andre the Giant Royal Battle Memorial. I don't know what the heck it's called because I never say it right.
All we had to do is type it out for you so you could see it?
Yeah, I said EC3 will win that. I said that'll be or Kurt Hawkins. They have Kurt Hawkins win that, and then,
that way he gets
his win, but then somebody's like, dude, you hit outside. It'd be funny if they had him hide outside the ring the whole time, underneath the ring, and then he comes out and he just throws the last guy over the rope. Yeah. And then he's like, I won, woohoo, I won. And then the guy's on, the announce or the panel are like, dude, you literally hit outside the ring the entire freaking time.
Yeah.
And then you push the guy out the ring.
Yep.
You eliminated one person. He'll be like, yeah, see, that was my win right there. One person. Woohoo.
I had my moment.
That would be so funny. That'd be so funny. Then he gets his WrestleMania moment,
Yeah.
They got to give it to him sometime. No better place than WrestleMania.
He's got to win sometime, doesn't he?
Right?
I would think.
But who knows? This is, So, yeah. The Kofi gets on the mic, talks about how he'd been there for 11 years and in the business, and He did everything for the business, and he never complained about anything. And every time he was given an opportunity, he took it. But the one time he has something he really wants to prove that he's done something in this business right, he doesn't get it. And he says, I came face to face with you in the ring to see what I need to do to get this. And that's what he says. Well, you have to beat Randy Orton, whose music hits. And then Randy Orton stands there for a minute. And then he goes, and apparently Samoa Joe. And then The Bar. And then Rowan. In a gauntlet match next week for your spot at Mania. And then this match will be next Tuesday.
That was a lot of words.
It was.
Overall, good show.
I thought it was a really good show. Wondering if Miz will retaliate next week on Shane. I'm assuming we'll probably see Aleister Black and Ricochet again.
We see him every night now, don't we?
Tag team. Yeah, we'll see him again tomorrow.
Well, I think a lot of things will be cleared up after tomorrow. We'll kind of have an idea on what's going to happen with them.
And they're not going to go through. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to be DIY, but then they're going to have to, fix that somehow.
Well, they might, and that's what I wonder. I wonder, because of what has happened, I wonder if
This is why I said they're going to go to WrestleMania, and then they're going to win the tag titles there, and then they're going to win the Raw tag titles. Laying it out right there. Prediction.
Who?
Ricochet and Aleister Black.
They're going to win which titles?
Raw titles. Raw tag team titles.
What if they were to win the NXT titles and then go win the Raw titles and say, we've just unified this and now we only have one title? Oh, that's too much thinking for me because, that's what I want.
I don't see that happening.
I just want one title between all of them.
The gauntlet match will end with Kofi and Randy. AJ helps. I like that idea. I 100% could see that happening. And then they make the AJ versus
Well, then if that happens,
match
here's
at
a
Mania.
question. Does McMahon then come out and go, you had help and you are now disqualified?
No.
And because you didn't win the match because AJ Styles came out and helped you?
No, it'll be something discreet if he's going to help. And then
Well, it might be discreet,
Kofi.
but the fact that, if AJ were to come out and help Kofi, then you have Vince McMahon sitting there going, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, you didn't win.
Then he puts AJ in the match, and then he, straight up, hits, his finishing move is slipping my mind right now. And, Paradise! Trouble in Paradise! Ha-ha, I got it! He hits Trouble in Paradise on AJ, and then he falls over and he pins him. He says, all right, you have one more. Yeah.
If he turns heel in the day, would be shit. Yeah. The thing is, I think it's going to be hard to turn him heel.
If after watching what happened tonight, when New Day came out, they defended Kofi 100% all the way. They were about ready to knock Vince McMahon's head off. It looks as if they would be turning them heel. And after they came out and they ripped apart the whole SmackDown tag team division that was out there having a match. I mean,
think about this. The way they're doing the Ronda Rousey storyline and the way they're doing the Kofi Kingston storyline.
One in the men's division, one in the women's division, and one in the tag team division.
So you have these two storylines that are following similar type scenarios. They're basically telling, the WWE that we don't care, we're coming out, we're going to destroy you. Yeah, but the WWE works like heels that have a purpose, like they did with Becky. She was supposed to be. I agree.
She was supposed to be a heel, but then they fans liked her too much, and so that kind of
which is why
that.
It's hard to.
Well, actually, no. They made Ronda Rousey. They were trying to make Ronda Rousey a babyface, and it was going to be Becky was supposed to be the heel in that situation. And then
it's
Ronda
hard
Rousey
to separate heels
and
baby faces now. It used to be you could tell who is a heel and who is a baby face.
No, it's a little more.
And now, because a lot of people like the heels too,
mm-hmm.
But would it be a real heel if it's just, hey, I'm tired of the crap. I've been here 11 years. I've got nothing out of this. You haven't given me a shot at this. I want this one shot. That's all I'm asking for. And now, Vince McMahon, you brought out the beast in us. So would it be a heel, or would it just be the fact that, they're tired of the crap?
Maybe. So real quick, I wanted to know, this has nothing to do with New Day, but it was just a question for anybody in the chat. I wanted to know what people thought on the Ronda Rousey promo last night, because I thought it sounded really fake. Like, she's trying to be pushed as a heel, but I wanted to know if other people thought it sounded fake, or if that was just me. Because I thought it sounded really fake and, like, really forced, compared to the promo that she cut, not this week, last week. I hate Ronda, boo. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that statement. So, okay, my next question then would be, in that situation, very staged, agreed. It sounded very fake, and I did not like it. I much preferred her promo on, Damn the Man, Screw the Woo. That promo was so much better than the one she cut last night. And I just wanted to know everybody else's thoughts, because I thought it was really fake. But I don't.
Well, again, I think that she has she has a problem being told that she has to go out and cut a promo that she kind of has to tone down. Mm-hmm. Because
if it was her choice, she would go out there and say F this, F that,
well,
F the other thing.
Because it is a family show,
yeah.
She can't just go out and cut loose. I think that's where why she has a lot of issues with that.
That's why she takes to Twitter and not,
Yeah, because she can do a little more with it.
True statement. Her delivery is no good. Yeah, agreed.
Again, I agree, and I agree with that. I think that the biggest issue is that she can't just cut loose.
Yeah. She's a fake person. She only says some of the lines. The problem is she chooses the wrong lines.
I agree.
Agreed. She has even come out and said, like, whether it's her actually saying, they gave me more to say, but this is all I did, and then I beat the crap out of Becky or whatever. Like, if you watch the Ronda on the Road video, there were bits and pieces that I was like, I could see where that's true, where she says, that wasn't a promo. And they gave me other things to say, but I didn't say them because I went and I beat up Becky,
Yeah.
Which is why I can see, like, yeah, some of it, there's like a disconnect. And people have said that before, where there's like a disconnect. She, talks way too fast, and you can barely understand her promos 90% of the time. I have a problem with that, too. You probably couldn't understand my promos if I was on the mic going, there you go. Did you understand a word I just said?
Well, because
my mouth is running.
I think she's got a lot of things going on. I think she's trying to cut the promo. She's trying to say the right lines. And she has to tone it down with what she's doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if she just cuts loose, I think she's really good at it.
If she did what she did on Twitter, yeah, it'd be a lot better.
But she can't do that.
But she can't do what she did on Twitter because it's a PG show.
Yes. So she has to learn lines and,
figure it out.
Do it that way.
Well, then I believe that she needs Paul Heyman. I would agree, but I don't want to see that because I don't want to see Ronda Rousey be Brock Lesnar. Like, I don't want to see her. Dude, I swear to you, if she was to retain Brock and Ronda mixed. Yeah, if they could get Brock Lesnar to do that, though. That's the next question. You got to be there every couple weeks to fight a match. Okay, so you have Brock
and Ronda mixed match challenge, and, like, you do, like, this week you have a match, and Brock doesn't show up, and it's just Ronda fighting in the mixed match challenge.
Fighting both.
Yeah.
That would be funny. He fights me.
That'd be good.
He fights via satellite. So then my next...
They pull out WWE 2K19 and start playing.
It. And then, like, you see the real stuff where it's, like, Ronda Rousey and whoever else. And then you have Brock Lesnar versus whoever, in video game form. That's funny. So then my next question would be, with you're saying, boo Ronda. I don't like Ronda. So then who would your choice be in the triple threat match? Becky or Charlotte? That's what I want to know. Everybody already knows my pick.
To win?
Yeah. Who would be your pick in the match at WrestleMania?
Since it's at Mania,
Becky Lynch.
If it was just those two, is that what you're asking?
No, I'm talking about in the triple threat match because.
So you're talking about in the triple
Wrestling
threat
News Central,
match.
they said, "I boo Ronda."
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is so like if
as a triple threat match.
Okay, so as a triple threat match, who do I want to win? Mm-hmm. Who do I think should win?
Mm-hmm. Both.
Okay, I think they should have Charlotte Flair win.
Why?
Because she has been wrestling. She is the best promoter of the WWE for the women. And a lot of it, like I said, it has to do with how she grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you grow up with
Ric
one of the
Flair
greatest
as your
wrestlers
dad,
ever, who cuts some of the best promos ever. I think that you have to have, I think, and she does an excellent job with all of it, and she's good in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So
the logical choice would be.
Well, I think right now you have to go.
Boo the woo.
I think right now.
No. Sorry, you got it wrong. It's screw the woo, and nada the Ronda.
I think that right now, I don't know, because they've taken so much heat off of Becky. She doesn't get the push, and maybe at Mania she's gonna she'll get the big pop. I don't know, but a month ago, I would have said Becky Lynch. Now, I don't know.
I'm still going with Becky Lynch. She's going to be holding the title up at the end because she's the underdog going into this match. Well, she was at least. Where she had her knee, she, everything with that. And she had to fight her way to get back into this match. And she's going to be victorious at the end. And the way it's going to end is she's not going to pin Charlotte. She's not going to have Charlotte tap out. It's going to be Ronda Rousey. She's going to have Ronda Rousey tap out to her armbar. And then she'll come back on Monday and be like, so, Ronda Rousey made some comments about my armbar being fake. Looking fake. Not being like hers. Well, I obviously proved that wrong because last night she tapped out. And I have this thing right here called a WWE Championship title. And it's on my shoulder, not hers. Right there. There's her promo for the next night.
All right.
Ronda Rousey wants to talk trash about my armbar? Not so much, because I got her to tap out to it.
Yes.
And then that's how she ends Mania. Watch. Because they can't have her.
Ronda's not getting pinned or submitted. That's why it's a triple threat. She never lost it. See, which is why I hate triple threat matches.
They could go that route, but I feel like it would go better if they had her actually get submitted, not pinned.
What if
Becky has to submit her?
What if they all get knocked down? Arms are laying across everybody on the mat. The ref counts 3, and he just declares all of them the winner.
Can't do that. Can't do that, man, because it's happened before where it's been triple threat matches. And the guy is like, oh, I got my arm on you. I got my arm on you. And the ref is like, 1, 2. So then automatically the first guy, whoever he tapped down on, is going to be the winner. Unless you kick out.
I don't know.
I don't either. But I feel like the only way that should go, Becky then hops up and pins them both. No, she just stacks them on top of one another and then just lays over both of them and it's like, I got you both. Ha ha ha. Or she does a double disarm her. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
That would be real interesting to see.
All right. I suppose...
That's everything on SmackDown Live. That last conversation kind of was just my thoughts, and I just wanted to know what everybody thought on the Ronda Rousey promo from this week, because I thought it sounded fake. And then
check Twitter here and see if there's
your
anything
thoughts
on
even though it's not planned, Becky goes over. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't see... Man. I want blood in that match. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see a broken nose or something like that.
Not Becky Lynch, though. She
That'd
already
be
had her
cool.
nose broken. She'd have it fixed. So, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
This time it can be Charlotte. We'll see Charlotte get her nose
With a broken nose?
busted open.
Yeah.
Or Ronda Rousey.
I don't think you could fake that. I think that, it'd be something that have to really happen. All right. I suppose we are going to end our stream now.
Becky should talk about how
she
she'd
had
been
acting for Ronda and how she does. That'd be funny. I think that, yeah, definitely. Definitely, I think that'd be cool.
That'd be funny. Yeah. Nevertheless, Becky 100%. What did I say?
Yes. We will be back tomorrow night. We have the NXT second round Dusty Rhodes Classic that we'll be talking about.
Yep.
Maybe they will talk about Ciampa.
Probably not if it's pre-filmed, or probably not.
Well, you almost have to do something, don't you?
I mean, it's the second week in a row, so you would almost have to, right? So, I mean...
But this time we know for sure that he's having surgery.
He already had surgery.
Well, I know, but last week when they showed the filming, they didn't...
I know who wins. LOL. Goodbye.
Last week when
Thanks. You already saw the spoilers.
That's why we stay away from spoilers, so we can talk about it. Last week they didn't know for sure he was having surgery before they showed the taping.
And then he had surgery the next day.
Yes. And so there was speculation that he was going to have surgery. So this week, do they come out and say, hey, this is what happened? And then they talk about, some changes. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. We'll be back tomorrow night, NXT, talking about the Dusty Road Classic. I would assume there's going to be, well, maybe not. It just depends on how they decide to do it. I was going to say there could be some other matches on there. Might just be the
I know we have the Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai
that's right. We do have that one.
Spot, women's title.
To fight the women's title, yes.
Bianca Belair.
So there will be
I see going over. And
will
then
be
they do
some
the Io Shirai and Kairi Sane tag team thing at Mania.
Yes. So there will be multiple matches next week or tomorrow night.
Well, because we'll only have 2 tag team matches, so then they fill something else.
But sometimes they only get a couple matches in on NXT because they're given the storyline. Good night, Bendy. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and after every pay-per-view, and before every pay-per-view, either on Monday or Tuesday night, depending on what's going to happen. Is that what I said? Yeah. Thursday or Friday night?
No, not Thursday or Friday night. Friday or Saturday night. Wow. That was not good. Monday, we'll be back Monday.
We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, after every pay-per-view, and the Friday or Saturday before the pay-per-view, we will give our predictions. And then if we have come up with some news to cover during the week, we'll have a special show, which is why you should subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell button thingy so you know when we go live. It's been an awesome night.
That was funny.
Walk
Thanks
with Elias.
Everybody who stopped in.
Start pushing for him for president.
No, Dad. You should re-say that. Thanks to everybody who stopped in to walk with Elias. Vote Elias for president. We're going to start his campaign up. Really.
I want to be his manager.
We need
Peace
a
out.
clip of that instant meme of the